All right, I had to come outside because I had to clear my head for a minute. Did you all catch the Joe Biden coming on last night and talking about after the electoral votes were cast and all that? I named this video the Phlegm of Democracy because he mentions the fire of democracy, but I swear to you, I cannot get over the phlegm wads that were coming up last night. I went back through it again. It was 13 minutes and 41 seconds of how many times he cleared his throat? 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 times the man cleared his throat. And I'm not talking about the 3 or 4 times where he talked through it. That was so gross. I was like, all he's going to do is read off a monitor anyway. He doesn't do, remember when Trump would have an outline of thoughts that he wanted to get across, and he'd glance down at his stuff and his notes, and then he would talk to the people, and then he'd kind of get off track and he'd be like, he'd feel like he was talking right to you. Remember that connection that he had? And he still does have it. I think we missed the rallies because we felt a real connection. I don't feel no connection to Sleepy Joe. You feel a connection to Sleepy Joe? I don't feel no connection to Sleepy Joe. If anything, I'm totally grossed out. I mean, first of all, the man sniffs everybody. His hugs last too long. He's decrepit. He forgets what he's talking about. He slurs his words. I like this new word he came up with. I had to write it down. That they slurified. They slurified their electoral votes. What the heck is slurifying a vote? I don't know. I can't make a connection. Can you? Ain't no way. So, I want to talk about this one thing where he talks about Trump when he says he did his job as vice president when Trump was elected, and he said, and it was a clear victory, and I did my job. And I thought, well, if it was such a clear victory and you did your job, then how come we had to hear about Russia collusion for 4 years? I thought it was a clear victory. So now he's already starting out, sounding hypocritical. So that kind of bothered me. What was the other thing? Oh, he also talked about abuse of power and bullying. I'm sorry, but I don't think the patriots, I don't even think that the Republicans at all, and not the patriots, we're not the ones doing the abuse of power and the bullying here. It's not us. So you need to get that straight too. I want you to go back and look at it. When he says, how did he put it? He said, and the people voted in record numbers. Go back and look at it. He literally does that. He goes, and the people voted in record numbers. That's one of those body language things. It's like, why are you shaking your head no when you say that? It's funny. Okay, and then he talks about the lawsuits that Donald Trump brought up. He said Donald Trump doesn't respect the rule of law. So he brought up dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of lawsuits. Well, it looks like to me he respects the law, the rule of law pretty good if he's bringing up all those lawsuits. Who's not respecting the rule of law here? I don't think it's Donald Trump. I think it's somebody else, because somebody that brings up dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of lawsuits is respecting the rule of law. I mean, literally. Like, if I filed 10,000 lawsuits, are you saying I don't respect the rule of law? That's another hypocritical thing. I don't get that. Oh, and then he talks about his cybersecurity chief being fired. And he says that his cybersecurity chief told Trump that this was a completely, there was no fraud in this election whatsoever. And then Donald Trump fires the man for that. Well, I mean, excuse me, but I think that there was the AP released that, like, our security in the United States has been infiltrated by malware for the past 6 months. Maybe that's why the guy got fired. I mean, think about this now. Think about it logically. Oh, and then my last note that I want to talk about is where he talks about share a common love for this country. I don't think burning the flag and taking the Pledge of Allegiance out of our schools is showing a common love for this country. I think the patriots are the ones who are showing the common love for this country, the love for this country. It's not a common love right now. In fact, from their side, I'm seeing a whole lot of hatred for this country. A lot of hatred. is being shown. Every time you burn our flag, you're showing hatred for this country. Every time you take a knee during the national anthem, you're not the one showing love for the country. Okay, get that straight too. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit angry. I need to get close to the woods. This time of year, when you live where I live, you probably shouldn't be wearing antlers. Just saying. Anyway, I just had to talk about the phlegm. The reason why I named it that is because he talks about the flame of democracy, but the whole time he was talking, that whole 13 minutes and 41 seconds, all I could think of was the phlegm of democracy. It just keeps getting creepier and creepier. Bring back the lion, man. Bring back the lion. I'd rather listen to the lion talk way more and listen to his policies than to listen to all this hypocrisy if I can get through it through all the phlegm. Okay, you guys, peace out. Have a great day.